Alright guys, we do have a response from Zyloh regarding the recent leaks. Right, so original poster, cuddle link speculation. Things that stood out to me. Top image appears to be the expedition variant. I can't speak properly. The expedition variant appears to be quite undergunned for Drake with just 2 SCU hardpoints. The bottom image appears to be a different variant and has a top mounted gun, which appears to be size 1, and some other devices attached to the roof rack of the ship. The text says other variant, which indicates that there are more than 2 cutter variances. And even though the expedition variant only has 2 SCU, other variants may have more internal space. Also, the cutter appears to be very well armoured for its starter small ship, and it's a sign that Drake is removing away from the paper thin armour. I don't think they ever do that. I think it's still going to be paper thin. Sorry, and we do other variances will be, is there on top of the cutter, variant, bottom image, blah, blah, blah. So, Zyloh has responded, leaving this thread open so I can comment on the recent leaks. We know that with each patch there will be leaks, and most of the time we're fully aware of the extent of what content will be data mined and when. Speculation based on data mining is rarely ever an issue, and we like seeing people getting excited about what's coming. It's great to see enthusiasm. But the dark side of the leaks is sometimes things get out that we will not want to see the light of day. Sure, if it's grey box and it's nearly final ship leaks and the ship is just about to release, we turn the other cheek. But leaked, outdated, proprietary work info that will never happen, that's not cool. This week, a member of our team, and I trust me, they're going to be so fired over this. A member of our team leaked outdated material, or leaked material, that by releasing pictures of an internal PowerPoint decks, this is the far different than data mining a test build that we willingly put out there. That person is so fired. There are far more negative impacts. An action like this only comes from someone who has no respect for their peers, the project, or the community. I would disagree with that. I would say at the end of the day, sometimes people leak stuff because they are very passionate about the project. And they just think this ship is really, really cool and people are going to love it. So they leaked it because they thought that. I don't know who the leaker was in the case of the Drake cutter, or any of the ships that have been leaked this week. But at the end of the day, yeah, I was going to say, look, sometimes people leak stuff just because they think it's cool. In this case, the leaker spread some misinformation, incorrect info that was never meant to be more than a few ideas dreamed up months ago and since changed. But because the leaker threw actual CIG work materials out onto the internet, these leaks have now created unrealistic expectations in some members of the community, and it sucks that we, CIG, will end up disappointing those people, i.e. because of it. Believe it or not, we appreciate that you guys love the project so much that you hungrily global up leaks. While it's not ideal, we hate having surprises ruined. We know for a fact that for life and entertainment IPs that they're passively followed as Star Citizen. But as just as common as the entertainment industry is for devs talking about things that get delayed and sometimes never happening, we're bummed that We're bummed that mixed among some of the cool, accurate leaks this week were some inaccurate ones based on obsolete PowerPoint decks. I believe PowerPoint decks is the program they use for like ship design and stuff like that. That would be my guess. I almost didn't comment. Doing so only revives the discussion and casts a brighter spotlight on the leaks. But when I realised that there'd be disappointment due to misinformation, I had to jump in and set expectations. Separately, I'd also be remiss if I didn't share with you how much these things hurt morale, especially for the ship developers who have had the intended reveal of their work stripped from them. Having had talk to developers off a ledge about their work being ruined in these types of situations. I can tell you firsthand that these types of leaks suck. The silver lining is that we're really glad to see people digging the ships, but we're bummed that they're going to be disappointed, some of you, because of some of the leaks just aren't going to happen. Right, so what do I think this is all about? I think this is all about the Drake Cutter. When we saw the original artwork or the stolen IP for the Cutter, I said it didn't look Drake and that I casted doubt on it. Like I said back then, and I'll re-admit now, the Drake Cutter, the cockpit and stuff, doesn't look right. The engines, are the gold trim around the engines and stuff doesn't look like Drake. Right? I've never known a Drake ship to have gold trims around the engines like it did in this image. I think the Drake Cutter's image is the one that he's referring to when he says it's outdated. It's probably an old style of Drake ship that maybe they were playing around with that obviously they never extended or they never continued to. Or they've redesigned. Now, at the end of the day, there are definitely some similarities between the image that we received and the image in the trailer where you see the cutter coming through the roof. I think the general design of the ship is probably accurate. So it looks something similar to maybe what's there. But I also think that all the stats that we have are probably wrong. Like, for example, an expedition variant and all that, I would say there's probably only going to be one ship. And I think that everything that we know, like with the expedition variant and stuff, or the insides and stuff, I think that is wrong. And this is what I sort of alluded to when we made the video, is that like 2 SCUs really didn't sit well with me. Like, that was just like way too small. And I even believe I said in the video that there's something wrong with this. This is not right. And that's what I think it is that I think this information that we have regarding the cutter is probably outdated, and it's probably been changed since then. What do I think the cutter, if it exists, is more likely going to be? I think, to be honest, Fez was onto something when he said that it was a marine ship used for border defense, or a small ship used to transport small amounts of goods from a ship to the planet, because you don't want these big capital ships flying in Atmo. In fact, some of these big ships probably couldn't even fly in Atmo. So at the end of the day, I think it's... I want to go back to my original statement that we had with the cutter when we first heard about it. It's probably one of three. One, it's a ship that cuts up ships. I think it's a bit too simplistic for the view. I think it's more likely going to be a ship that is a patrol ship, or a ship that is used to transport goods from a ship to the planet. Most likely, I think it's one of those two. As for the rest of the stuff, like what's inside it and stuff like that, I really don't know. I think it's probably going to carry cargo, or if it's going to be like a patrol ship, it's going to have like guns and stuff. But yeah, I would say that the expedition variant, all that sort of stuff, is way wrong. Look, do I think these leaks have hurt CIG or vice versa? No, I think people were excited for a new cutter, the Drake Cutter ship. I don't necessarily know if people are worried or excited for the expedition version of the cutter ship. To be honest, I think people are just excited to get new ships. So I think him saying that they're going to they're trying to manage expectations, I think that's a little incorrect. I want to give Zyloh the benefit of the doubt. I'll say it's probably incorrect. I don't think anyone's sitting there like beating their dick over like how good the expedition variant of the cutter is. I think people are just going to go, yeah, look, I want a cutter. And as for its purpose, like I said, I think it's a ship that transports a small amount of goods from a ship to the landing pads or landing zones. So it's probably going to carry like 46 of SCU or 30 of SU or something like that. Or if it's a patrol boat, I would say it's probably likely to have some guns on it, and then basically go through and just patrol the waters like a normal cutter used to. That's what I think it is. But guys, let me know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. Let me know what your thoughts are on the cutter. What are your thoughts on what you think it is? What parts of the leaks do you think is wrong? What parts do you think is right? Let me know in that comment section below. Apart from that, guys, obviously this video has been helpful. Please smack that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, we'll see you in the next monetized video from YouTube. Have a great night and enjoy.